pleasant good morning. Once again, we are here on Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is Vasyl Shabchenko. He's former Minister of Transportation in the Ukraine. Also is Sean Scottfield from Cullman, Alabama, USA, who was former U.S. military vet serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, now volunteering in Ukraine. We also have Randy Sturgill. He's from Wilmington, North Carolina, USA, and serving in humanitarian capacity in the Ukraine. Also joining us this morning is the head of International Legion and Territorial Defense from the Ukraine. He'll be speaking with us and giving his name. So with that said, Mr. Shabchenko, it's a pleasure to have you here again. We know these are some terrible moments in the Ukraine. Russia is readjusting to make even a more vicious attack on your country from going into the eastern side. And that is something that I would love to talk to the head of International Legion Territorial Defense at some point as we go through this interview. So, Shabchenko, how are you keeping and your family is getting along at this time?
First of all, I'd thank you for having me. And last our conversation was before war, and we tried to make forecast for the future. Now we are in the war, and I told you that Ukrainians will be struggling against our enemy really serious, and we will win, and our victory will be over. And now I can say that my family is good. My family isn't in the Kiev, because to live in Kiev now is really danger. But a few weeks before it was higher danger. To be honest, we were sure that Ukrainian troops and Ukrainian the defense forces defend Kiev and defend country, defend capital, and all value we have in the city heart, in the country's heart, what more? I'd say that we have seen a lot of cruelty, a lot of atrocities from invaders who wanted to capture Ukraine. But I can say exactly that now world have pulled ourselves together and struggling against Russia's invader. And now I can say that all civilized world support Ukraine. And first of all, I really thankful every American who help us in United States, and every American who are here now. It's really people who share our wishes and who wants to help us in really dark time for Ukraine. It's really important, and we will remember all our life, and Ukraine will remember it.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I'd stress that it's representative of veterans. United States, for example, it's veterans from Marine Corps United States, and it's representative of Public Society United States, and people who share their view, and this society will win our enemy, and we will win evil altogether.
Okay.
And yes.
Yes. Well, at this time, I'd like to speak to Sean Scottfield. And thank you for the good work you're doing there in the Ukraine, assisting with the aid in helping their fight for freedom under these terrible moments. Tell me a little bit, what is it like right now, especially in comparison to the Iraq and Afghanistan war? Is it any different or is it similar?
It's actually very different. This is an entirely different conflict. We don't have the good guys don't have the kind of technology that, let's just say, America would go into combat with.
Right.
Even in the beginning of the Iraq War, when we didn't necessarily have technology to protect our troops against IEDs and roadside bombs and stuff like that, we had the technological base at home where we could generate that kind of technology, so that as the war progressed, we were able to meet the enemy with effective equipment. Yes. The Ukrainians they have the hearts of lions. They have a steel spine. They're, as far as a population, one of the bravest I've ever seen, known. And the only thing they're really lacking right now is the technological support of a superpower. And they are going up against a superpower.
Yes.
So if they had the kind of technological support that, let's just say, America could provide, without any kind of strings attached or without any sort of political fear or whatever, then this war would be over quickly, be a lot less.
Yes, absolutely.
Dead children, women. It would be over quick.
Yes. Do you see, think about it. Russia is a superpower. If not the second, maybe the first, because the United States is to be reckoned with. As a superpower, considering Ukraine doesn't have all this new technology and armor to fight with, and they are giving Russia hell to win this battle. They are pushing them back. They're like, everything is going in their favor. Do you see this as a holy war that's going on right now, or how do you rate this?
Well, I might be kind of jaded in my views about that. I have no problem telling anybody that I follow the voice of God here. It's my personal belief that God is definitely behind these people. Yeah. I believe that eventually, when success comes, hopefully quicker rather than later, that God will definitely be a factor behind that. I think what Russia did ultimately when they decided to invade this country is they destroyed that reputation of having the second best military in the world. I don't think they really even are actually even close to the reputation that they used to have.
Yes.
You could see in the beginning when they decided they were going to march in here, all of their equipment failed. It wasn't maintained properly. They have no supply chain to restock the troops that are already on the ground. And they're not even fighting a real war. They're not fighting soldier versus soldier. They're standing off in the background like a bunch of, they're standing off in the background and they're lobbing artillery into cities. They're specifically aiming for hospitals, schools, everything like that. They're not fighting a war. They're just beating up on a little guy. That's all they're doing right now.
This is outrageous. This is outrageous.
It's criminal. This is criminal of the highest order.
Of course.
War has always been armed robbery, albeit writ large. This isn't even that. This is terrorism. This is state-sponsored terrorism, plain and simple.
Yes, that's right. Well, at this time, Sean, I'm going to reach over to Randy Sergio, and get his input on what he's doing. Hi, Randy.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
How are you, sir? Good to see you as well.
Likewise. Tell me, how, I know you're there, you told me this morning you are putting together a lot of humanitarian benefits and so forth. How is that coming along?
It's going really well. And another reason that I wanted to be here along with some of the shipments was to actually hear from the people what they were most needed, and what regions the material was most needed in. And I think it is amazing at the amount of material that are coming in and getting put in the right places. And it's a magnificent people here, not only on the warrior side, but on the supply side of this as well. And again, letting them know is that I don't represent the government of the U.S. I represent the people, and what the people, the citizens up and down my block at home can provide and give comfort to the people here in Ukraine.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm glad that you are there giving your best support to Ukrainians at this point in time of need. They need all the help they can get. And I want to say thank you for what you are doing. At this time, I would like to speak to the head of International Legion Territorial Defense of Ukraine.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, great. Your name, could you
Yes, I can spell it. I can spell it. My name is Vladislav Sinegovsky, and I am coordinator of the International Legion of the Territorial Defense of Ukraine.
Beautiful. I think you are the right person I want to speak to right now. As Russia is aiming and destined to really fight hard in the eastern part of the Ukraine, what security measures are put in place to make sure that they will not succeed?
It's very intelligent question, and I wouldn't like to prescribe all our action, what we're going to do, because definitely they will try to regroup and make offensive operations there, because they already gone from Kiev. Kiev was encircled, but now Kiev and its north part and eastern part of Ukraine are already liberating our army. And but we all understand that Russia will not stop, because their behavior and their attempt to kill us will continue. And in this case, it's really, really important to have here on the ground your citizens. And we are very appreciated that we are not alone. It's so inspirative and so helpful to understand and to see American support on citizen level. But I would like to just address to your people that if such brave and I could say best people of the world like we have here already in Ukraine, why US government cannot do more precisely, more effectively to stop this war and to stop Putin, this bloody criminal who already killed thousands of Ukrainians, and he continues to do it. And tomorrow and yesterday and after tomorrow, it will be the same. And the best people, not only from Ukraine, but also from US, from UK, from many European countries, are under real threat from Putin aggression. So it's not just war between Ukraine and Russia. It's war between civilized world and orcs, people who would like to destroy it, all globe. Please take into consideration my words. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk.
Of course. Now, Mariupol was totally demolished. I mean, it's like don't exist anymore. Do you think it's Putin's intention to destroy as much Ukrainian cities as he possibly can?
Yeah. I'm not only sure, I see a lot of confirmation that it is. Because look at Mariupol, for example, look at Kharkiv, look at Akhtirka, small city on the north of Ukraine. Mm-hmm. So they use such strategy. They wouldn't like to fight with us on the street. They firstly shelling us, heavily shell, make bombing, And after that, they use heavy vehicles, and only after that they go to practically destroyed cities. So in this case, all Russian military power will be used in such direction, such strategies. They will use heavy shelling. In this case, we need heavy weapon. But who can support us as if America just waiting? Because we really need heavy weapon at this moment. Yeah.
So recently, U.S. had given some advanced weapons that can actually protect more of Ukraine airspace and do more destruction to the U.S. To Russia jets. Do you see that playing an integral role right now in the war, or a turning point in the war?
It's difficult to say honestly, because yeah, it could be. It could be. At this moment, we feel that we are a little bit in safety from sky point of view. Yeah, from the sky, and hopefully it goes about American assistance. I cannot be sure for 100%, but hopefully yes. Hopefully
Right.
yes, and because. Yeah, because we have deep understanding and mutual understanding what's going on the ground, and I feel I have a lot of American friends here, and you see that American citizens here, because they are the same as Ukrainians, they would like to stand for freedom, for dignity, and for democracy as we stand. So we are like one, and in this case, I am absolutely sure that we will win. But the question is how fast and how many people we will save. It's the question to, first of all, it's question to your government.
Right.
Because Americans already with us, and we feel it every day. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. So U.S. is giving Ukraine intelligence as we speak as to how Russia is repositioning themselves. They're giving advanced equipment to better protect yourself. Poland also is reaching out and giving more artillery and so forth to fight this war. Do you see with this military equipment and intelligence, this could play a major role in shifting how the war go? Or do you need physical help as the United States actually getting physically involved?
It's very interesting question. I am not general of the Ukrainian military headquarters.
Right. Okay.
And, yes, and I would like to have some comments. And I would like to keep safe lives of American peoples as well as Ukrainian people.
Yes.
And as we mentioned before, it's crucially important to have high technology here, like drones, like anti-tank rockets, like intelligence drones, and so on. So America, from my point of view, has everything to beat Russia, everything.
Yes.
And it means if you will share your technology and your experience with us, not formally, not just for political PR or something like that, but on the ground, practically, it could be very good job, and you will save, and you will help us save a lot of lives.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Head of International Legion Territorial Defense of Ukraine. I would like to speak again with Vasyl. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Vasyl Shavchenko.
Here.
Hi, Vasyl. You're back here again. So tell me something. Innocent civilians are getting killed. Orphanages are getting destroyed. Hospitals are getting destroyed. Civilians are just getting decimated. And it seems to me that Russia is not really trying to face up to the Ukraine military because they are failing. How in this time can America and NATO nations further give a word of comfort and sustainability in the middle of what's going on around them and still play a defensive part in their lives as civilians?
I think that Russia's troops cannot win Ukraine, and they are using technology, horror, and fear. They wanted to use it against children, against women, against old people, people with disabilities. They started fighting against civilians. They were killing people at the streets. They were killing people who was driving, who were riding by bicycles, and they were throwing grenades to cellars, to shelters where were civilians peoples, and everyone who can hear us can understand what kind of war they decided to use against Ukraine. And now they still trying to surround Ukrainian towns and the city. They haven't managed to caught any big Ukrainian city, because Ukrainians are struggling in different parts of Ukraine at the east and the north. Now Ukrainian forces have pushed them out from the regions close to Kiev, and Kiev starts having capital's life, but now is surrounded fortifications building and checkpoints, and it's military city now. And Ukraine and every Ukrainians overcoming its difficulties. And what's more important that United States citizens and veterans and public society now with us. They decided to come here to support us, to be with us, and they are ready to advance with Ukrainians to attack Russia's troops, to push them out from Ukrainian territory, to push them to their country, and we are together. We are strong because we are supported by our friends, and we are sure that we will win. They wanted to capture Ukraine during 3 days, but now it's second month they are trying to capture only city after this time, and they haven't managed it. And I'm sure that if United States government will help us with a heavy weapon, we will be able to push them back and to win in this battle and liberate our city and villages along the Ukrainian border, where now are Russia's troops. And I can say that they will not receive Ukraine. And using against Ukrainians their instruments similar to horror and fear have fallen. They haven't managed to do it, but all world can see what instruments is in the has Russia's army. They are using heavy weapon against civilians. They are shooting to private houses from tanks. They are eliminating private houses from tanks. They are destroying cars, civil cars with the people inside. They are fighting against civilians. At the same time, they run out from Ukrainian forces and our allies who support us and who give us lethal weapon and who made us to provide more sophisticated and more effective weapon. But it will allow us to save a number of lives, Ukrainians and people who wants to live. And now I can say that this site, this evil site, Russia Federation wants to use against developed world and wants to threat all European countries and to establish a new order. I am sure that we'll not manage to do it because we are not alone and we all are fighting against them. Thank you, dear Errol.
Well, thank you. One quick question. We only have a minute left. For those who were sheltering in underground bomb shelters, do you think they are in a starving position or starving to death at this point?
I can say that shelling civilian cities from long-range missiles, it's the type of horror. They are threatening all Ukrainian city and wants to show it. But now Ukrainians air defense forces are fighting against them really successfully. Now I can say that Ukrainian air defense forces have shot down more than 300